Hi guys, so in this video I am going to show you how to properly maintain all of your yo-yos. So how you know if your yo-yo needs to be maintained is if the bearing starts how you know if the bearing is bad is if it starts here, I'll use this one's worse, but if it starts to get louder than normal, then it'll need to be cleaned. And if it starts to get locked up, hear that is not usually that loud. That needs to be cleaned. And if it gets a little bit responsive, see, this is an unresponsive yo-yo and it's responsive, so that's how you know if your bearing needs to be cleaned. And the response pads, if the response pads need to be changed, it'll look like your binds will not work very well. Pads, if they need to be changed, the binds will be slippy. Also, if your bearing sounds a little bit clinky, that needs to be changed. But if slack binds that, they don't really work on the yo-yo, that means the response pads will need to be changed. So I'll be showing you how to do all of that all inside this video. So these are the yo-yos that I normally use. Sometimes I'll use a responsive one, but so the plastic cheat code, the Replay Pro, the Arrow, and this magic yo-yo, or Joel Share yo-yo, not magic yo-yo. So let's start with the bearing. So all you'll need is some oil. You should either use yo-yo lube or thin lube. You see how that it looks almost like water? You don't want that thick oil that has the consistency of honey or something like that, or syrup. You want this water stuff. So this is just my mom's sewing machine lube. So, and you'll need a small bottle or jar. I guess you could do it in a bowl or something, but make sure it's something that you don't eat out of. And you're going to need some something to clean the bearing with. I like to use acetone, which is nail polish remover. I will say the normal acetone doesn't really work, so it needs to be 100% acetone for it to be really strong. And you're going to need pliers if your bearing's tight, tweezers, a pin, a needle, and if your response pads need to be changed, response pads, and a paper towel. So, what you want to do is you want to take the bearings out of all the yo-yos. Some yo-yos you'll just be able to take them out like that, but some they'll be tight, so you want to gently grip the bearing in that circle part right there, like that, and just slowly wiggle it out. So you want to take out all your bearings. Let's do that really quick. Okay, so let's get started. So these are the bearings that we're going to be cleaning. Some are definitely worse than others. How you tell is you can take your tweezers and just put it on the inside of the bearing like that, through that big center hole, and just spin them. So if they slow down immediately like that, they don't spin very well. That needs to be cleaned. And if they sound really loud or gritty like that, and then they slow down, they need to be cleaned. If they start sounding weird, do not play with yo-yo afterwards, because that can destroy the bearing. This yo-yo bearing, that if you keep playing with that maybe an hour later, that will completely lock up your bearing and you won't be able to fix it. So you just have to buy a new one. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna open this. Do not get this on your skin or eyes. Let's clean the flat one first, because this one's a little bit bad. So now you want to screw the lid on, or if you don't have that, you can take your tweezers and just like swish the bearing around. So you want to swish it around for like, if your bearing's super bad like this one, maybe like 30 seconds to a minute, but if it's not that bad, then maybe like 20 seconds. So now you want to just take the bearing out. Don't stick the tweezers like on the part where like the little ball bearings are in. Stick them in like this hole right there. Like, see that hole that I'm sticking them in? So you just want to put them on the paper towel, dry them off. Keep in mind, do not get this on your table or anything. This will like eat through your table. Like, I spilled a little bit right there. You can see it's a little bit. It like rubs the paint off. So now you want to stick it on the tweezers. And you want to just get it away from your face, spin it a few times so you get all of the acetone out. Now, it's spinning pretty good. It's spinning pretty good. Okay, let's go ahead and do the rest of them. Okay, guys, so I got my bearings all cleaned. Now, you want to take your lube and your pin, and there's like some leaking out here, so like just grab the like tiny littlest bit as you can, like on the tip of the pin right there. That is all you need. So you're going to take the bearing and just put it on the very inside, right in that little like slit there, and you want to stick it back on the tweezers, spin it. Oh, and see how it just like immediately becomes like more smooth, and it should like spin, if you did it right, if you put the right amount, it should like spin faster and longer. Yeah, so that one's done. Put too much. So if you put too much, your bearing will like stop after like 2 seconds, and then you just need to clean it again. That means you put too much lube. Okay, so now that you've got your bearings on, you can go ahead and put them inside your yo-yos. But now I'm going to show, you might not want to yet if your response pads need to be changed. So I'm going to show you how to change them. So you're going to take your tweezers and just carefully grip the pad. You don't want to scratch any of like this where the bearing goes, because it'll like mess up the spin. But it doesn't really matter if you scratch like under where the response pad is, because that doesn't really come in contact with the bearing at all. Ooh. And you just want to make sure there's absolutely no residue from the response pad in there, because if there is, that will just like completely mess up the response pad, the new one. Now you're going to take your new pads, peel it off, and you want to put it carefully inside the yo-yo and just push it down. You don't want there to be any little bumps or anything. You just want to completely push it down so there's no bumps at all. And you don't want it to be sticking out even a little bit. Like, okay, now your yo-yo should be spinning great. If they're not, watch this video again and make sure you did everything correctly. And do not use thick lube like this. This is thin lube. So don't use the thick stuff. So now let's put the bearings back in and test out our yo-yos. Okay, so once you have your yo-yo screwed together, I'll show you when to change the yo-yo strings. So this is a new yo-yo string. See, you can see the strands really good of the yo-yo string. And this is an old yo-yo string. So as you can see, it's kind of dirty and you can't really see the strands of the string that well. That's about when you need to change the string, like when it starts to get really dirty like that. So you just want to take the new string and untwist the end without the loop. Put it on the yo-yo, and you're good to go. Okay, so let's test out our yo-yo. And you should test it, and it should be totally unresponsive. Should be not responsive at all. And this is the one I changed the pads on. They work pretty good. So looks like it worked. Okay, so guys, I hope you like this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!